Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the Varro Theatre. My name is Merryjest, and today I am singing for you the Winter Light concert. This concert is a concept of mine to perform lesser-known holiday music. I don't know about you, but I'm usually not a fan of your constant and, very frequent greatest hits for holidays. So tonight, I hope I can offer you something a little bit different for your tastes. And we will begin with an arrangement I made of Gustav Holst's In the Bleak Midwinter, set to a poem by Christina Rossetti. It's a little bit different, I hope, and so I hope you will like it.
The bleak midwinter, frosty wind made moan. Earth stood hard as iron, water like a stone. Was falling snow on snow on snow in the bleak midwinter long ago. Angels and archangels must have traveled there. Cherubim and seraphim thronged the air, but only his mother in her maiden bliss worship the beloved with a kiss. In the bleak midwinter, long, long ago, a stable sufficed. Long ago.
And hopefully that has set the stage for what is to come. So let me tell you about some of the things that I like insofar as my holiday music goes. I like stuff that isn't played very often, that you might not have heard before. I like bringing new things to people. It's one of my favorite things. It's one of the reasons why I like these concerts, because I get to expose you to all sorts of things and you get infected with that bug, that musical bug. So let me tell you briefly about one of the many reasons I became a singer. Well, there were two, but I will save one of them for the Disney concert. And yes, there is a Disney concert. Thank you, Krim. Thank you, Cave. So there is a Greek singer. Some of you might know of her. Some of you probably don't. And yet, yes, I'm a contagion vector. Attach would say thank you for being a friend. Sorry, my Netflix got triggered, or whatever it is, got triggered in the background, and the Golden Girls were playing. So you got that impromptu rendition of "Thank You for Being a Friend." Where was I? Yes. So the Greek singer that most of you probably have never heard of. Yet she's also one of the biggest selling, some would say the top selling single female act in modern music history. Her name, with over 500 gold and platinum records, singing in 12 different languages. Some of you might have seen her. Her name is Nana Mouskouri, and she's very, very easy to identify. She has long black hair, and she wears glasses, and she has a very distinctive voice. If you ever do hear her singing and you wonder, that is a very unique sounding voice, that's because it is. You see, Nana was born with a genetic defect. One of her vocal cords barely vibrates at all. forcing the other vocal cord to overcompensate and vibrate twice as fast, which gives her that very unique voice. And that's a bit of a lesson for you, because they told her that she was never going to become a singer, that she was not going to get very far with that defect. And 500 gold and platinum records later, there you go. She also recently, she's in her mid 80s. She's still recording. The woman is immortal, because she got COVID in her mid 80s and survived it during the beginning of the pandemic. It wasn't even one of the most recent ones, but during the beginning of the pandemic. She also then had pancreatic cancer and survived it. The woman will outlive us all. But in any case, my mother had this LP called Christmas with Nana Muscuri. And Nana Muscuri and Lorena McKinnon are kind of my unusual music intersect vector, because they always like to do research. And so Nana Muscuri had this whole album of Christmas songs. And among them, she had this very lovely carol called Kalin Imeran, or also known as Christos Genate, also known as Takalanta, which just means carol. And specifically, Kalanta Christogenu, which means Christmas carols. And apparently this is the most famous Greek Christmas carol in the world because of Nana Muscuri. I heard it and I thought it was absolutely delightful. The carol is written in Katharevousa, which is the older language in Greek that they had before the current version of the modern Greek language. It was introduced in the 18th century and it was used in the 19th and early 20th century too. And then in the 20th century, it was used by the state and educated people only, and it was abolished from public schools in 1976. I first heard it with Nana Muscuri, and I thought it was very, very charming. Then I did a bit more research about how the Takalanta is performed. And you see, children in Greece would go out banging pots, making this little improvised orchestra, percussion orchestra, using pots and pans, and they would go from house to house singing these carols. And I thought, well, isn't that fun? Then I found out that the origin of this tradition is actually much older. Of course it is. You had children going door to door singing and celebrating the god Dionysius in ancient Greece by banging copper pots and pans together and holding branches of olive or bay decorated with seeds and white wool, and they were given presents. The wool was supposed to symbolize fertility and euphoria, and this custom went on in Rome and Byzantium. And so I looked for backing tracks of this carol, and you can't find any good ones. Most of the ones that you find are usually made by low-grade karaoke companies, and they're so vanilla. So I decided I was going to just go all the way, and I grabbed my pots and pans and little toy piano instruments, and I just made my own track. So with you, Kalin Imeran Archontes. And those of you who speak Greek, please pardon my Greek.
Καλήν εσπέραν αρχόντες, αν είναι ορισμός σας Χριστού τη Θεία Γέννηση, να πω στα αρχοντικό σας Χριστός γεννάται σήμερον, εν Βηθλεέμ την πόλη ουρανία γαλώνται, τη φύσης όλη εν το σπηλαίο τίθεται, εν φάτ μη των αλόγων βασιλεύς των ουρανών, επί της των όλων πλήθος αγγέλων σαλούσι, το δόξα εν υψίστης και τούτον αξιών εστί, ή των ποιμένων ποιητών Alinimera archontes, Ania in eogismosas.
I probably should have mentioned that as I was singing Kalini Merda Archonte, above my stage, you see that picture of me. You can click it and you can get the translations and the program notes for the things I will be singing today that are not in English. And I should have told you this earlier, but I forgot. Normally, Malachi is here to keep me safe. Yes, and I am so sorry. Another thing I like to do is find common themes and common elements in the music that I bring forth. And with the next selection of stuff, I sort of did that. You might ask yourself, what's the common thread outside of the subject matter between 17th century, 18th century English carol, a 16th century French Occitan carol, and an 18th century Peruvian/Ecuadorian carol? You'd be surprised, actually. So this is a three-part arrangement I made. The first is Hush My Babe, which was included in Peter Almedon's 55 Anthems for the Small Church Choir, published by New Oxford Book of Carols in 1706. This is also known as Watt's Cradle Hymn. And the first time I remembered hearing it, because it is very distinctive, Hush my babe, lie still and slumber. It's very modal in its melody, and it's very, very stark, very, very arresting. And it reminded me of another carol that's written in the Occitan language from the Occitan region of France from the 16th century, called Noël Nouvelle, which you heard at the very beginning. I made the theme and variations on that at the very start. And bizarrely enough, that took me down a rabbit hole, because there was another carol that I thought just fit melodically. And it's a carol from my own home country of Ecuador. Ecuador is a tiny country, 260,000 square kilometers. And no, I can't do the math to convert it into miles just off the bat of my head. But, you could fit, I think, 2 Ecuadors in Florida. Maybe. It is a tiny country, but it is incredibly diverse geographically. You have the coast, which is where I was born. I'm a beach boy. I grew up on the equator, so I never actually knew what seasons were until I came to the United States. We just have summer. It's just dry summer and wet summer, and that's about it. But a little bit further down, you have, of course, the jungle. We share the Amazon jungle with several countries. And then a little bit further to the east, we also have our own share of the Andes Mountains. So we have the highlands, like Quito, the capital of Ecuador, is about 10,000 feet up. So talk about mountain high, cavern deep, and all that stuff, But because of that very diverse geographical distribution, we have multiple, we had multiple indigenous communities. We had the Quechua, we had the Valdivias in the coast, but we also had the Incas up in the highlands. And because of the highlands, we share a lot in that region. We share a lot of the Andean music, which is very, very remarkable. If you ever listen to music, they call it puneña music, it's at once both melancholic and cheerful, because most of it is set to dance. Ya viene el niñito jugando entre flores. But the contour of the melody itself is very melancholic. So, and there's just these three elements that tie together these three carols. The melody is very similar, even though they come from radically different parts of the world. And so I thought I would have a little experiment and just jam them all together. So, this is what I came up with.
Hush, my babe, lie still and slumber. Holy angels, guard thy bed. Heavenly blessings without number, gently falling on thy head. How much better thou art attended than the Son of God could be, when from heaven he descended and became a child like thee. Chantons ici, les beautés gens disons adieu merci. Chantons Noël pour le roi nouvel. Chantons Noël pour le roi nouvel. Noël, 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 chantons ici. L'ange disait, passe, parte d'ici. L'homme obtient, trouve l'angèle. L'homme en repos, le cœur réjoui. L'homme en repos, le cœur réjoui. Noël, 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 chantons ici. Ya viene el niñito jugando entre flores y los pajaritos le cantan amores. Ya se despertaron los pastores y le van llevando pajitas y flores. La cama está fría, la cama está dura, la Virgen María llora por ternura. Ya se van cayendo todas las estrellas cuando ven al niño más lindo que ellas. Niñito bonito, manojo de flores, llora pobrecito por los pecadores. Noël, 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 chantons ici.
And now, we are going to go to something that's a little bit more known. So, this next carol that I chose is a Christmas carol that tells the story of a Bohemian king, modern-day Czech Republic, who goes on a journey, braving the harsh winter weather to give alms to a poor peasant on the feast of Stephen. By that description alone, many of you probably know what this is, but I wonder, do you know? During the journey, his page is about to give up the struggle against the cold weather, but is unable to continue by following the king's footprints, step for step, through the deep snow. The legend is based on the life of the Saint Wenceslaus I, the Duke of Bohemia, who was not a king, but a duke. In 1853, the English hymn writer John Mason Neale translated the lyric from a Czech poem by Václav Alois Svoboda, in collaboration with his music editor Thomas Helmore, and the carol first appeared in Carols for Christmastide published by Novello and Co. in that same year. That lyric was set to the melody of a 13th century spring carol called Tempus Adest Floridum, which means Easter time is come. And that was first published in the 1582 Finnish song collection Piae Canciones. Now, the arrangement of it that I want to sing today is done by a Canadian singer, one who really doesn't need much of an introduction. Her name is Lorena McKennitt, and she's pretty much a modern day bard. And I just absolutely love her version of it, so I had to ape it for you guys. I hope you enjoy it.
Good King Wenceslas looked out on the feast of Stephen, when the snow lay round about, deep and crisp and even. Brightly shone the moon that night, though the frost was cruel, when a poor man came in sight, gathering winter fuel. Hear the page and stand by me, if thou know'st its telling. Yonder peasant, who is he? Where and what his dwelling? Sire, he leaves a goodly Kent underneath the mountain, right against the forest fence by St. Agnes' fountain. Bring me flesh and bring me wine, bring me pine logs hither. Thou and I shall see him dine when we bear them thither. Page and monarch, forth they went together. Though the rude winds wind lament and the bitter weather. Sire, the night is darker now, and the wind blows stronger. Fails my heart, I know not how, I can go no longer. Mark my footsteps, my good page, tread thou in then boldly. Thou shalt see the winter's rage, freeze thy blood less coldly. In his master's step he trod, where the snow lay dinted. Heat was in the very sod which the saint had printed. Therefore, Christian men, be sure, wealth or rank possessing, ye who now will bless the poor shall yourselves find blessing.
Again, I completely identify with that. For about 2 years I lived up in the mountains, and I had to also help with the chopping of the wood in sometimes -5, -10 degree weather. It wasn't my favorite. Gosh, it sucks. But yes, very much King Wenceslas vibes there. So let's talk about the next selection. This is an arrangement by Peter Yarrow, whom many of you know from Peter, Paul, and Mary. The first time I heard this, I knew I had to sing it someday. So I'll give you the background of this, although many of you already know this. When the Second Temple in Jerusalem was looted and services stopped, Judaism was outlawed. In 167 BCE, Antiochus, the Seleucid monarch, honored an altar to Zeus erected in the temple. Antiochus' actions provoked a large-scale revolt. Matthias, a Jewish priest, and his 5 sons, Yohanan, Simeon, Eleazar, Jonathan, and Judah, led a rebellion against Antiochus. Judah became known as Yehuda Maccabi, Judah the Hammer. By 166 BCE, Matthias had died, and Judah took his place as leader. By 164 BCE, the Jewish revolt against the Seleucid monarchy was successful. The temple was liberated and rededicated, and the festival of Hanukkah was instituted to celebrate this event.
Melech Hasha, Harbochada, Umlutasha, Micho, Antiochus. Let us remember, reign of terror, King who murdered, pain forever. Oh, then Antiochus. The blood he spilled, Jerusalem, so many killed, gone all of them. Oh, then Antiochus. He broke, he burned the Torah, ash and smoke, the crushed menorah. Oh, then Antiochus. Our hero, Judah save us, Christ so dear, the victory gave us, freedom gave us. Oh, then Maccabeus. Oh, sing a song and praise the Torah, right the wrongs and light menorah. When then
Picture it. Rocamort in France, 1843. The church organ had just recently been renovated. To celebrate this event, the parish priest persuaded a poet, Placide Cappeau, a native of the town, to write a Christmas poem. Soon after, in that same year, the composer Adolphe Adam composed music to set that poem into a song. The song was premiered in Roquemort in 1847 by the opera singer Émilie Laurey. Transcendentalist, music critic, minister, and editor of Dwight's Journal of Music, John Dwight himself adapted the song into English in 1855. This version became very popular in the United States, especially in the North, where the third verse, quote, "Chains shall he break, for the slave is our brother, and in his name all oppression shall cease," resonated with abolitionists. You know this song as "O Holy Night." I prefer to know it in the original language, Minuit Chrétien. I feel that it is often a little bit overdone in the English version. Oh, sorry. A message popped up. I feel it is a little bit overdone in the English version, but I guarantee you that if you listen to it in the original language in French, it has an entirely different feel to it. And so I want to sing it for you tonight. The wide vocal range of the song makes it one of the more difficult Christmas songs to execute properly. And in French language churches, it is commonly used as the beginning of the midnight mass. So tonight I will sing for you not O Holy Night, but Minuit Chrétien.
Minuit chrétien, c'est l'heure solennelle où l'homme est Dieu descendu jusqu'à nous. Pour effacer la tâche originelle et de son père était le coraux. Le monde entier tressaille d'espérance à cette nuit qui lui donne à sauver. Tu as gênant ta délivrance. Noël, Noël, voici le Rédempteur. Noël, Noël, voici le Rédempteur. Le Rédempteur a brisé toute entrave, la terre est libre, le ciel est ouvert. Il voit ton frère qui n'était qu'un esclave, l'amour unisse con chaîne et fer, qui lui dira notre reconnaissance, c'est pour nous tout qu'il est bien qu'il souffre, mais piaceno chante délivrance, Noël, Noël, chantons le Rédempteur.
I'm not going to lie. That is one of my favorite pieces to sing. The moment you're going, I get all verklempt. So now we're going to be moving a little bit into the popular part of this recital. And I would like to say a lot of things about the next piece, but I think I'm just going to let it speak for itself. Especially, it is very powerful in the nostalgia department for a few of us, a few of you. And yes, also, please donate to this venue. The Varro Theater is very accommodating. It's a great venue, and they tolerate all of my insanity here. And yes, Crick says yes. The 23rd and the 30th are still on the schedule. I will be here. And so now let's go ahead and move on to the popular section with the next piece. And I'll do a shout out to the first person who identifies where it's from.
Dancing bears, painted wings, things I almost remember, and a song someone sings once upon a December. Someone holds me safe and warm, horses prance through a silver storm, figures dancing gracefully across my memory. Someone holds me safe and warm, horses prance through a silver storm, figures dancing gracefully across my memory. Far away an ember, things my heart used to know, things it yearns to remember, and a song someone sings once upon a December.
No, Krim, you are remembering it correctly. Anastasia was directed and produced by Don Bluth and Gary Goldman. Don Bluth is probably one of my favorite animators, the black sheep of the animation world, because my God, the man is brilliant, and when he is on, he is on. I mean, All Dogs Go to Heaven, Secret Name, all of that stuff that just, traumatizes childhood. But then when he's off, my God, he is off too. I guess that's one of the things about Don Bluth that is kind of great. There is no such thing as middle ground. It's either brilliant or it's an absolute dumpster fire, like Rockadoodle. He also did not help himself, because he had a bone, he had an axe to grind with Disney, and so he would often choose premiere dates for his movies that matched Disney's. And so, one of his movies actually beat Oliver and Company when it came out. And so he got cocky, and then he decided that, I think it was Old Dogs Go to Heaven that beat Oliver and Company. And then he unfortunately decided to do that with his next movie, and he pitched it against The Little Mermaid, the start of the Disney Renaissance. Yeah, that didn't go so well for him. But my God, the man is a genius. So, now that we're into the movies, I have a song for you. This song was written in 1943 for the film Meet Me in St. Louis, for which MGM had hired Martin and Blaine to write several songs. This song first appears in a scene in which the family is distraught by the father's plans to move to New York for a job promotion, leaving behind their beloved home in St. Louis. Just before the long-anticipated 1904 World's Fair is set to begin. In this is a scene that takes place on Christmas Eve, and Judy Garland's character, Esther, sings the song to cheer up her desolate and despondent 5-year-old sister, Tootie, who was played by Margaret O'Brien. The thing about this song, and actually, let's talk very briefly about terrible renditions of songs, Christmas songs especially. Well, first, above everything else, you no doubt have heard people like Adam Lambert and others. I mean, I love you, Katie Lang. I absolutely love you, but who have sung Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah as Santa Baby is its own thing, Kate. We'll talk about that at some other point, because that's a whole lot of... In any case, people who sing Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah as a Christmas song have absolutely no clue what that song is about. And I want you, if you ever run into a performer who is doing this, I want you to come up to them after they are done singing this as a holiday concert, and I want you to tell them, are you aware that this song is in fact about an absolutely desolate relationship, an almost destroyed relationship, and the husband is trying to make it up to the wife by performing oral sex on her? What do you think is the Holy Dove moving? Yeah, I want you to tell this to the people singing this, and I want you to tell me, I want you to come back here, log on to Second Life, and tell me exactly what it is, what their expression is. So, yes. But another thing, yeah, it is, yeah. Yeah, people think that Hallelujah is a Christmas song. Another thing, another peeve I have is, I'm out for blood on that song, but I'm out for blood on this one too. You see, this song is "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas" from the movie, as I told you, Meet Me in St. Louis, and the scene is very sad. The song is very sad. Have I ruined it or have I made it better? It's a very, very sad song, and I can't stand it when people try to cheer it up. Have yourself a merry little Christmas, make the Yuletide gay. No. She is consoling Tootie because they're going to leave everything behind and move on to a strange place, and they're going to be uprooted. The song is about acknowledging that some Christmases are not okay, that some Christmases are not happy, that people hurt. And I think it's very important to acknowledge that, and that it is okay to be hurt. The song also does have a very strong current of holding on to hope. Even though things are terrible or they're not as great as they could be, we can take what we have and make the best of it. And that's one of the things that's important about this song. And one of the things that's important about singing the song the way it goddamn should have been sung from Meet Me in St. Louis. So, I am no Judy Garland, unfortunately, but I will do my best to sing Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas in a way that Judy might have approved when she wasn't feeling like a diva.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. Next year all our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. Next year all our troubles will be miles away. Once again, as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us will be near to us once more. Someday soon we all will be together, if the fates allow. Until then we'll have to muddle through somehow. So have yourself a merry little Christmas now.
Agreed. It is a very, very good movie. And you know, it may be a sad song, but it's sort of become a holiday classic by its power, unlike certain other songs that try to become classics by being ever present. And, you know, moving with completely fabricated. What? Wait a minute. Oh no. Oh dear goodness, no. Tani? What are you doing?
There is no Tani, only Mariah.
Oh God, she's thawing! Everybody run! Mariah, I have a question for you. Would you like to build a snowman? I'm going to teach you a lesson. Lesson number 1. Never upstage the tenor. Let's try this on for size. All right, so we've put her back on ice. What do you say we take her back to the vault? I am so sorry about that interruption. I guess you can't really get away from her. But, well, actually, I do think I know there is one way that we can wash the taste from our mouths from that. You see, that song is all about knowing what you want for Christmas, right? And don't worry about Tani. I'm sure we'll get her an exorcism at some point later. Maybe play her some Nana Mouskouri tapes backwards, or, have a bit of Elton John sweat flicked onto her. That should be possible. But so I want to sing a song that is kind of the opposite of that. Mariah clearly wants you for Christmas, you poor soul. What about people who don't know what they want, but they think they want it, but they don't? In Andrew Lloyd Webber's Jesus Christ Superstar, Mary Magdalene has that dilemma. She is in love with Jesus. She does not know why he draws her like that. And she doesn't know how to love him. She doesn't know how to move him. And she's always been the one who's been in control, and now she is completely spiraling. And she loves him, but she also knows that if he were to tell her that he loves her, she might hide. Ever been in a situation like that?
I don't know how to love him, what to do, how to move him. I've been changed, yes, really changed. In these past few days, when I've seen myself, I seem like someone else. I don't know how to take this. I don't see why he moves me. He's a man. He's just a man. And I've had so many men before, in very many ways. He's just one more. Should I bring him down? Should I scream and shout? Should I speak of love? Let my feelings out. I never thought I'd come to this. What's it all about? Don't you think it's rather funny? I should be in this position. I'm the one who's always been so calm, so cool, no lover's fool, running every show. He scares me so. I never thought I'd come to this. What's it all about? Yet if he said he loved me, I'd be lost, I'd be frightened. I couldn't cope, just couldn't cope. I'd turn my head, I'd back away. I wouldn't want to know. He scares me so, I want him so. I love him so.
And now we're getting close to the end of our show. For my next piece, I want to return to Lorena McKennett. She wrote a beautiful poem called Snow that I think is a perfect depiction of a wintry landscape after the fresh snow has fallen and there's nothing but stillness and frost. Of course, she set it to music as well. And so without further ado, my penultimate song for the night, Snow by Lorena McKennett.
White are the far-off hills, and white the fading forests grow. The wind dies out among the tides, and denser still the snow. A gathering weight on roof and tree falls down scarce audibly. The meadows and far-sheeted streams lie still without a sound, like some soft minister of dreams. The snowfall hoods me all around, in wood and water, earth and air. A silence is everywhere. when at lonely spells some farmer's sleigh is urged on, with rustling runner and sharp bells, swings by me and is gone, or from the empty waste I hear a sound remote and clear. The barking of a dog to cattle is sharply pewed, borne echoing from some wayside stall or barnyard far afield. Then all is silent and the snow falls settling soft and low. The evening deepens, the gray falls closer around the sky. The world seems so shrouded, so far away, its noise asleep and I, as secret as yon buried stream, plod dumbly on and dream. I dream, I dream, I dream, I dream.
I want to thank everyone for coming tonight. I have one last song to give you for Winter Light. I will be here, of course, every weekend in December, every Saturday at 6 p.m. with a concert for you throughout the remainder of the year. Please do support this wonderful speakeasy. It is a great place to sing, very welcoming and very cozy. And now, the final song will return to Peter Yarrow of Peter, Paul and Mary fame. This song, there's a lot I can say about this song, but, well, I will just let the lyrics speak for themselves. It is called The Magi, and I think it has a wonderful message. And so, as a farewell for tonight, with you, The Magi by Peter Yarrow.
Oh, the Magi were the prophets, and they wandered through the desert. They saw the star above them, and they knew they'd find their way through the valley of the shadow with the hope of human kindness that was strengthened by the vision of a new and brighter day. And the wise men spoke of peace on earth, of harmony and struggle. Know you now a cycle's gone, and a new one is revealed in the weaving of your fingers, in the whisper of a love that's born again, in the weaving of your fingers, in a promise that we made that never ends. Well, now each man is a pilgrim, yes, we all must make the journey, and it seems that time is telling us to be all that we can. To help lift up the fallen, we must sow the seeds of goodness. The torch is passed among us now to light the way of man. For the heart of man's a palace, and his dreams are as the sunlight. They burn away the darkness as they warm the freezing cold. As an eagle flying higher, as a river through the canyon, the diamond star shines down upon a pathway to the soul. And the wise men spoke of peace on earth, of harmony and struggle. Know you now a cycle's gone, and a new one is revealed in the weaving of your fingers, in the whisper of a love that's born again, in the weaving of your fingers, in a promise that we made that never ends. And the wise man spoke of peace on earth, of harmony and struggle. Know you now a cycle's gone, and a new one is revealed in the weaving of your fingers, in a whisper of a love that's born again, in the weaving of your fingers, in a promise that is made that never ends, in a promise that is made that never ends, in a promise that is made that never ends.
And I would like to thank Tanny as well for being one of my accomplices in this insanity. Tanny, you were fantastic. Thank you for being game and channel the spirit of Mariah to be with us tonight. So that is my show today. It's been a pleasure singing for you tonight, especially since I am still overcoming a fever. I've been sick, and I kind of feel like baked over Alaska right now. But I powered through and I survived. Thank you, Tanny. Once again, thank you, Crixus, and to the Varro Theater. Please donate generously to this beautiful place. And I will see you next week.